in Venice in competition with the film Dark Horse by Todd Solondz. Let's talk about your character. In Italy, we call him Bamboccione, a very big child.
Yeah, a man-child.
A man-child,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, very big.
Okay.
Bambino, yeah.
Wait.
Bamboccione?
Bamboccione,
Okay,
yes.
I like that.
The big child.
Yeah, never grew up.
Never grew up.
Yeah.
So, could you tell us something about your character?
Abe is he's a guy who's never been really told no by his parents, never really forced to grow up. I think he grew up feeling like everything would come his way. You know, very middle class America right now, my generation. Not feeling like you need to work for anything. That you know your parents raise you and they give you what you need, and so you're never forced to grow up. And he's at an age now where I think he realizes people get married now, and so he meets this girl, Selma Blair, and he says, "I'll marry her," and things don't go the way he thinks they should go.
So love changes his life.
Yeah, or what he thinks is love. He thinks he's in. I don't think he is in love. I think he thinks this is love, and you know he doesn't really know what he's supposed to do with that, and so he just goes through the motions, and things don't go his way.
We thought that this problem of people over 30 that continue living in the house of parents and so on is a typical Italian problem. But
it's an American problem too.
Also, okay.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. So it is a contemporary problem.
Yeah.
Do you think?
Well, I mean, I did a musical called Avenue Q a couple of years ago on Broadway, and it deals with you get out of college in America, university, and you don't know what you want to do with your life, and you go home and live with your parents, and you just you don't get a job until you find something that you think speaks to you, and then what happens is you just don't get a job for years because you never find anything that feels like it's your dream job, and then you don't grow up, you don't go out in the world.
So it's not due to the financial crisis, but more.
The economy?
Yeah.
I think it's partly the economy, but I also think that my generation, which are the children of the baby boomers in America, who our parents didn't have the things that we have. Our parents worked very hard to make a lot of money and have a good life that they could give their children. So we grow up with this great life and feel like, oh, this is just how it goes. This is the way it works. We don't realize that we also have to work to get that same life. And so we stay at home, and our parents pay for everything. They buy us cars. They buy Abe a yellow Hummer. They give you all this money, and you spend the money on Xbox and PlayStation and Thundercats toys, and I think this is very common right now. I think Todd really taps into something that's very common. I didn't realize it was a common thing in Italy, and so I think that very much speaks to our generation very well.
And what about you? When did you leave the house of your
parents?
Well,
I went to university after high school when I was 18, and I went to graduate school, and I never really lived at home after school, just in the summer before graduate school. So I'm not like that.
So it's not you are not like Abe.
No, but I can relate to Abe. I mean, I do think I'm a big kid. I mean, I'm a bit of a child. I like some toys. I collect baseball cards. I play fantasy baseball. I think men. I don't know about women, but I think a lot of guys my age, there's like a big boy in them still. I have friends that still have Transformers, and they have people put like little bobbleheads on their office in their shelf and everything. So I think there's a child in all of us. With Abe, it's a big part of him.
Because all men are a bit children.
Yeah, I think so. All men are a little bit children. It's true.
So the last question, what about Todd Solondz?
Yes.
So the master of indie American cinema.
Yeah.
So I was working with him.
He's incredible. He's an actor's director, and what I mean by that is he's there for every actor, every question, any moment you need to work on, he'll work with you. He's very open to what you have to say as an actor. You don't feel like you're just there for him to say, do this, stand there, say this on this line. It's really a very organic, collaborative experience with Todd, even though it's all coming. The beauty of working with Todd is he's the writer and the director. So you get to ask him about line changes and also about acting changes. And so you just feel very collaborative and very open with him.
So it's a kind of a working in progress.
Yeah, very much. And things change as you're filming. You know, he'll want to cut something or want to add something, and he's always there to answer any questions. I just trust him implicitly. If there was ever a moment where I didn't know why something was happening, I just trusted that he knew. As long as he's in charge, I feel like whatever he needs me to do performance-wise, I'll be there for him.
Did you know him before? Or?
We had met previously after I did a Mike Lee play in New York called 2,000 Years, and he met with me after that, and I actually auditioned for him for Life During Wartime that was here in Venice, and I think I stuck in his mind, and he brought me back for Dark Horse.
And now you are in Venice.
And now I am in Venice.
How do you feel here in competition?
It's surreal. It's magical and it's exciting, and I hope that people here in Venice and at the festival appreciate the film and appreciate the performance.
I hope so.
I hope so.
And I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you
nice
so
to meet
much.
you.
Nice to meet you. It was your second film with him. How was this experience?
To work with Todd Solondz again it's one of the most gratifying experiences. He doesn't typically work with people twice, or he hasn't historically, so I felt one very, very special and very happy. But his language is my favorite for a director. His films, the tone, it's the easiest to work with him, and I think his films are very beautiful and very touching and very funny. So to be home with Todd again was one of the greatest gifts.
Let's talk about your character, Miranda. This we can say with Jordan we said bamboccioni, a man-child. Your character we can say is a girl child. Yes. Okay. Can you tell us something about her, and what about the differences between men and women about these themes? So men are, we can say, more children than women in such a way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I think, I play this character, Miranda, who's actually the same character I did in Storytelling. It's the same girl. I don't know if everyone knows that, but she went by the name Vi in the first one. That was her middle name. She's Miranda. And she's kind of, she's in a really hard place in her life. And the boy in this, who's a grown man, he's a real, mamone. He's home, and that's a little bit more accepted. A boy can be still coddled by his mother and be home, and it's a bit pathetic in the United States. Not so much anywhere else, but the United States, men have to go out, and it's a real reflection of failure if you're still home. And maybe not so much for women, you could a little bit more, but my character had such drive once and such ego. So for her to be back home and fail is totally shut her down. She's totally depressed. And both in the United States are very unacceptable places to be at home as an adult. But very common now with the way the world is, and nobody has money and no jobs. And so it really is a very timely movie and very sad. We don't know how to nurture our children in the United States once they're past college years.
Now you have a little child.
Yes.
Are you worried in such ways for him because of the situation?
I am. I've always been a real fatalist. I've not been the most optimistic person in my life, so to have a child really frightened me. What will happen to him? How will I take care of him? How will he take care of himself? But he's nothing like me. He seems, I can tell already, he's a very son child, and I think he'll make his own way beautifully. And I have to be careful not to put my energy of worry on him, what the world is going to be like now. So I think our children will really be different than us and really make changes. It'll be a very different world, I imagine, than what we live in now for the next generations.
Let's go back for a moment to the theme of the movie. Do you share the vision of Todd Solondz about this theme, as you explained before?
I do. Todd's tone is something I totally understand and relate to, and I didn't see this movie yet, so I don't really know what happened, and he edits things differently than when you shoot them, so I don't know exactly what happened, but I think I do very much feel that things are very sad right now, and people are sad, and people are searching to be comforted, and people people hurt each other because they're very selfish, wanting to be comforted for their own good, and I think they're not trying to be cruel. It's just people are very frightened, and if that's in this film at all, that is something I really understand. But at the same time, especially now that I have a child, I do have to have a lot more hope, that things will change.
Last questions. How do you feel here in competition in Venice? Are you nervous?
No, I mean, I'm not nervous at all. I really am just happy to be here, to have people seeing the film, to be out of my house and in a beautiful environment and eating, out and being with friends and with my baby here. I'm so grateful. It honestly could make me cry. It's a very big deal to have work right now and to have people seeing a film and hope that people buy this film. I'm so grateful. It's so good to be here.
The last question, what about Italian actresses? Do you know any of them? Do you have examples?
Of course, everyone loves, Ms. Bellucci. There's the ones that are the very big ones that we know and I think are so fantastic and beautiful beyond, the couple big ones, but I'm not so totally familiar with the younger group of. I'm not so totally familiar with anything, to tell you the truth. I'm like anything. I'm asleep half the time right now.
So you don't have examples. You also actresses in America.
Oh, actresses that I admire and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, of course. I admire Claire Danes. And then in France, Marianne Cotillard, I love. Jessica Chastain, a new actress that I think is so talented. I've always loved Isabella Rossellini, always such a beautiful woman. So Gwyneth Paltrow, I love them all. All of them, I look up to most of them and hope I could have a chance to work with them.
And what about the directors? With whom you would like to work with?
Which women?
With whom? Yeah.
Oh God. Catherine. Bigelow, of course.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not that many. I know there's some that are starting to produce more, but there's really not that many women directors, are there?
Yeah.
I mean, I can't think. That's so sad that I can't think off the top of my head what women directors there are. Jodie Foster.
Yeah. Not many.
No, not
so
many.
It's not a word for women.
No, but it should be. I mean, God, I love the sensibility of women. I have such admiration, but it's very slim pickings.
So the message to work with a women director.
Yeah,
in the future.
I really support. I wish these. I know they have festivals where it's like women making short films and stuff. It's like, call me. I would love to work with a woman, but